So in this lesson, the second lesson in the Python Turtle exercises, we are going to learn how to repeat code. Now, you might be thinking, well, I can just copy and paste it. Yes, you can, but there's a much more efficient way of doing it in programming so that we can make the program do the hard work for us if we've got lines of code we want to repeat time and time again. So by the end of this session, what we want you to be able to do is reuse the skills from the previous lesson, drawing lines, turning, by making Adrian move around. But we also want you to be able to use the concept of iteration. Now, iteration is the ability to repeat things, and in this case, repeating lines of code. So a little bit of retrieval practice. What does the term sequence mean in programming? So pause the video. This is the key term, one of the key terms from lesson 1. What does sequence mean? You can give me an answer in a sentence. Pause the video, then come back with your answer. Okay, so what the answer is that a sequence is when you have a series of steps that need to be followed in order to achieve an outcome. Now, that doesn't just apply to programming. We also have sequences in maths, we have sequences in cooking, we have sequences in science experiments, so they happen everywhere. This is your cheat sheet for this session. It builds on the one from the previous lesson where we've got the ability to move forward, left, right, we've got the pen down. Now we've got this skill that we'll explore a bit more in this video and during the lesson. But here's the cheat sheet for how we can use for to make code repeat a number of times. So you can use this section here, the example, many times within the program. Hello folks, welcome back to So the concepts for this lesson: iteration. Now, iteration is the process of repeating steps. So in programming, iteration is the process of repeating lines of code. So we can have iteration in real life, in walking, in writing something down, in following an example in maths or science or geography or any lesson. But in programming, we are specifically talking about repeating lines of code. This saves us a lot of time. If we've got code that we want to happen more than once, rather than copying and pasting it or writing it over and over and over again, we can get the computer to do it for us using something called a for loop. Okay, so we've done the retrieval practice. We've had a chance to create an equilateral triangle, not a square like it's on the screen here. Our next part is moving into the iteration section of the course. Now in this section, what you need to do is to understand that we can repeat steps of code, so we don't have to. For example, in here we're making the Adrian draw a square, but he's doing the same thing 4 times. He's moving forward 100 and he's turning right by 90. So what we have the chance to do is save time by moving through this and just use these 2 lines of code and do them 4 times. Okay. For example, this code here would make Adrian move forward 100 4 times. So if we copy this down, and this is what I want you to investigate, and I run this, he keeps walking 4 times forwards 100. What do I need to add to make him turn 90? So then he'll draw a square with just 3 lines instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. So I want him to be making a square instead of just going in a straight line. What do I add on line 8? So investigate that and make those changes, and then come back and we'll be moving on to iterative steps. Hopefully we're used to this process now. You've got some work to get on with in the iteration section of the lesson. So pause the video now, work on that section, investigating and modifying the code to see what the new tools you've been introduced to can do and how you can work with them. So let's look at the anatomy of the for loop, how it's put together. So what you've got is this line here. Now in here, the letter here, this is different to what you saw in the previous example, and we'll get to that. So I'm going to do this step by step, moving from the left and going around clockwise. We must start with the word for. This is the statement. Now, when we say statement in programming, that's just a word or line that the program has to do. So the statement for tells the program you're going to repeat some code. The code that is to the right of this dotted line, all this code that's indented here. Okay. The item in the red, this is simply a name that we have to put in that the computer will use to count. And this will store a number for us. We don't need to worry about anything with this. We just need to make sure that is there. In, and then we've got range. So this is the number of times that the program needs to repeat this code in the orange. So range, and then we have it in the brackets, and it must be the rounded brackets. And if we change the number, the code will the amount of times the code will be repeated will change to be repeated the number of times that that number is. So if I put 8 there, we would have 8 sides. 10, 10 sides. And then what it does, this code in the orange will be repeated that number of times. So if I wanted to make a straight-sided shape, how many sides does it have? What angle does it need to turn every time it's drawn a line? How long do we want the lines? So with this, you should be able to draw any polygon. Okay, so the next part is looking at how we can apply the use of this iteration or for loop. Now, with Turtle, we're going to use that in drawing some polygons. So just revising what a polygon is. A polygon is a straight-sided shape. So we've got these 8 examples here. You could draw all of these with Adrian and making these shapes and repeating steps. Now, in doing this, you're going to have to repeat steps. Now you could just write lots and lots of lines of code, or you could try to master that for loop by changing those sections in it that we have been over. So move on to the next slide and let's see what you can do. Right, so you've just had a look at iteration and the basics of that. Now we've had a look at what a polygon is. Now I want you to have a move on to this section, the iterative shapes, to give you the chance to explore this even further. How can we use these commands and the for loop that you just learned about to create several different shapes? So I've given you some starter code. Let's minimize this, where you can then control Adrian so that you can change the side length and the angle that he turns. This is similar to what you did back in lesson 1, changing the data in the variables, and then get it to repeat code a certain number of times in the loop to make Adrian draw some different shapes. So because this isn't about tripping you up, it's about letting you learn and take it step by step, we've got a starter code down here. So if I run this, it'll error to start with, because it doesn't know what X is. So if we change X to the number of sides that we want, say 10, my turtle will keep going 10 times. Now at this point, because it's turning 90, it's going to keep drawing over and over and over lines. But how can you make Adrian draw all these different shapes? So explore that and then come back. And you could even go on to do more shapes than this. So what you need to do now is, as before, pause the video in a moment to do the iterative shapes section of the lesson, and you should be investigating, so running the code as you go to see what it is doing and modifying it, changing it, adding to it, and making the code do different things. Do that by altering the values that you put in the brackets of the turtle commands. For example, here, instead of length, you would put a number. Instead of angle, you would put a number. And then use a for loop to repeat the code. Now that you've had a chance to play around with a for loop, hopefully, or at least repeating lines of code to produce something, we now need to move on to the second assessment, Maze Challenge 2. So you select it from the side here. There are some reminders of the code, as well as you've got your cheat sheet with some examples on there. We have the assignment here, where you've got your starter, and if we run it, you'll see the maze. And as before, we've got a red square moving up to a yellow square, and we've got to control Adrian so that he finds his way to the top, ideally leaving a pen line in these lines. So he shouldn't just go in a straight diagonal up this way. He should only touch the red, white, and yellow squares. Once you've done that, submit the code to your teacher. You can give them some comments if you're stuck, and if they can, they'll get back to you with some feedback and you can have another go. Once you've done this, that's you done for week 2 of this course. So this is what your successful program should look like. Adrian should be at the top on the yellow square, and there should be a black line just on the white. There are several ways you could have programmed that, ideally with a for loop, but if not, we'll give you some feedback. Well done if you've got Adrian to the end. I look forward to showing you the next lesson. And on to the final section of today's lesson. You need to be working on the Maze 2 section within the iteration lesson. In this, you've got a more complicated maze than before, where there are some repeated steps that Adrian needs to take to reach the end. There are some steps that aren't repeated, but there are some where you could reuse code by using a for loop. Now you can hard code it in by typing all the code in sequence if you wish, or you can show that you've understood what we've done today with the for loop. So there are 2 ways that you can make him do it. There's probably more than that you could figure out how to do, but have a go at that. Pause the video, and then come back when you are done. Congratulations, you've been able to explore the for loop today and how you can more efficiently reuse lines of code. Of course, you could still always just type all the lines of code in sequence if you wished, but it would take you a lot more time, and you're prone to making mistakes if you do that. If you've got these 2 lines written correctly, it will repeat them correctly constantly. If you retype them, you might make a mistake. If you've got time or you really want to, you've got an extension here where you could investigate how we can do different colors for Adrian's lines, because we can draw lots of different colors using the turtle module. Note I've spelt color in the American way on purpose because that's how we need to spell it in Python. It's not that I don't know how to spell color. Well done, and see you next lesson.